We'd like to thank the Red Lion Inn of Ontario, California for their fine accommodations at the Tournament of Champions. Hello, over it again. I'm David Camp along with Brian Buchanan. We're going to be starting the men's middleweight division. Up next is Romeo Flarno, and he is 24 years old. He's 5'6", 174 pounds, and he looks like he is ready for competition, Brian.
Well, he's got fantastic symmetry and great proportions, but he lacks the definition, Dave. That's a pity, because if he'd come in really top shape, he would have been very, very hard to beat. He says here he's only had 2 weeks to prepare. He's done very well for only 2 weeks of preparation. If that guy had come in top shape, I'm sure he would have whooped it. Great proportions. Remember I was talking earlier about the symmetry in the V-taper? This guy's got it.
But he just seems a little thick, is that right?
Yeah, he's carrying too much body weight. He needs to lose about 6 or 7 pounds to be in good competition shape. But for 2 weeks preparation, he's done very well. You can look out for this guy in the future. He could be a force to be reckoned with. Very good legs.
And he seems like he's enjoying this also.
That's
He's
right.
smiling
He's
off
enjoying
to the
himself
crowd.
up there.
All right, and that was Romeo. We had a chance to talk to Romeo backstage. Tamara's with him now.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
How do you feel this competition?
I feel pretty good, but I'm not really ready for this contest. It's only died for 2 weeks.
Where are you originally from?
Philippines.
And what do you plan on taking bodybuilding?
I'm planning to take it to the Philippines, my native country, and I'm trying to bring it out there so I can teach those people.
So you'll go back there, teach them how to bodybuild and weight train?
Yeah, that's it.
Good luck to you, and good luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
All right, back to competition. Next up is Jerry Armstrong. He's 32 years old, 5'7", 175 pounds. When he's not bodybuilding, he's a personal trainer. He works out at the Gold's Gym in Santa Ana.
Well, Jerry is looking in pretty good shape there. If he asks me, he could be a few pounds lighter to be in pristine condition, but I think he's done enough to look pretty good. He could be in with a shout at the end. Good back, good overall proportions and symmetry. A few pounds too heavy though. Maybe 2 or 3 pounds too heavy. Good abdominals. He's a fairly smooth poser as well.
It seems like he's moving quite nicely to the music.
Yes, you can see he's choreographed this. Just a few pounds lighter, and he would have been in pristine condition.
It's obvious that his back is his strongest point here,
That is
Brian.
a strong point here. He's putting heavy emphasis on his back.
That has got to be awfully tough. I mean, you've got your back muscles, your front muscles, your biceps, triceps. That's got to be a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah,
That
a lot of
was
hard work.
Jerry Armstrong. And up next is Jean Theodore. He is 28 years old. He's 5'6", 171 pounds.
Well, it looks like Gene has done his homework.
What a difference in that stomach.
Yes, that's what I was talking about, being in pristine condition.
He's really got some back there, Brian.
Yep. He's really looking good. He brought his body weight down, he brought his fat levels right down. You can see the difference between him and his other competitors. Very good abdominals. Look at those abs. Whew.
How many sit-ups? How many sit-ups do they do a day, Brian?
Well, it looks like he's probably trained his abdominals twice a day. He's probably done hundreds in the course of training for this show. Thousands.
It's just amazing the dedication that goes into something like this. I cannot believe it. I'm an average bodybuilder, a weightlifter myself, but I mean, this is unbelievable.
Well, he's done a good job there.
And that was Jean Theodore, a fine performance, and Tamara's with him now.
Oh, good performance.
Thank you.
You're from Haiti, is that right?
Yes.
And you speak how many languages?
3. French, Creole, and English.
How long have you been bodybuilding?
4 years.
You were also in the is that Marine Corps?
Yes, I was.
Does that training help you at all in bodybuilding?
It sure did.
In what respect?
Well, we were shooting hard, and we're like tough guys. We go out there and do it, right? We just,
All right for the tough guys. Good performance tonight.
Thank you.
And thank you, Tamara Cowden, who we had a chance to talk to David Stone and familiarize us with his routine.
You can go out there and you can train in the gym, create your own body, and it's nobody can hold you down. Nobody can hold you down. You can have good, hard workouts. You can make gains year after year, and you just keep getting better and better until you get to the top. It's just nobody's going to stop you. I'm actually my heaviest I've ever competed at, but I'm a lot leaner. I'm a lot leaner throughout the year than I've ever been before. And I have to credit them a lot for, being able to watch myself. And my girlfriend has a great diet and it helped me out. I just have to credit her. It really helped. It's the second time I competed as a light heavyweight. And it's really not my natural group, but as a middleweight, I should be pretty shredded that day. You have to love the sport, and you have to know what your physique can handle. You have to go out there and you have to eat good foods. I think everything that your mom always taught you about going to bed early and eating good foods, I think it all applies towards bodybuilding. I think bodybuilding, that's what bodybuilding is all about. It's eating the right food. Eat your green beans, eat your vegetables, eat your fruits, and get to sleep early, wake up early. I think it's just an all-around healthy sport.
And up next is David Stone in the light heavyweight division.
Yes, Davey's looking pretty good here. Very thick physique, very chunky. He's carrying a lot of muscle on his frame, and he's in pretty good condition as well.
And one important thing that David said in that interview, he said diet. Brian, that seems to be very, very important today, is diet along with bodybuilding.
Yes, extremely important indeed, especially to the competitive bodybuilder. You have to go on a special diet to remove as much of the subcutaneous fat from your body as possible so you can show all the muscles off. It's very, very difficult. Got a great back there. Thick from top to bottom. Great lumbers.
He's really showing off those calves as well, but look at that back.
Yep.
Really beat out. He's got that V, doesn't he?
Yes, very good shape, yeah. He's in pretty good condition as well. Eating those green beans paid off.
They're going through
Very good.
those final poses here. And that's a great performance for David Stone. You know, each bodybuilder has their own individual ways of training, and Joe Carrero here working out in his gym, he's a very, very thick competitor. His muscles are very, very massive for his size. He's been competing for 10 years.
I am an overachiever, I think, anyway. I go into the gym and I basically have to stop myself from overtraining myself. I do not like to take days off. I usually burn out when I do that, so I have to force myself to take a day off. My workouts consist of about 4 hours a day, 30 sets, 2 body parts. Off season, I do about 12 sets per body part. The weights are a little bit heavier. Repetitions ranging from 6 to 12, whereas prior to the competition, the repetitions range from 20 to 50. My diet is basically good all year round. The only thing that changes is the caloric intake, as it gets closer to the competition. But if you put 101% into it, you're also going to get the recognition out of it. And that's what I enjoy about bodybuilding. Plus, you're constantly challenging your body every time you walk in the gym. I love to go in the gym with a workout in my mind and go in there and not walk out the door until it's accomplished. And I will not leave until it's done. I will not. Simple as that.
And here's Joe Carrero for his light heavyweight routine. He looks like he is really up for this competition, Brian.
Joe Carrero is ready. He looks in top condition. He has taken no chances. He's looking hard, looking big, proportioned. He's there. He's paid. His hard work's paid off.
And there's no question about that. He is very, very competitive.
Yes, he's in very muscular condition. He's ripped, as we say in the game, Dave.
Well, you can see that this experience has definitely paid off for Joe Carrero here.
Indeed. He's carrying a lot of muscle as well. Very well muscled.
It says here he was in New York City. That's where he grew up as a kid. And he was working out for self-defense purposes. Those neighborhoods can be pretty rough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if he went back to New York City now, he wouldn't have any problem in those neighborhoods.
Quite safe. Yeah.
And a nice turn to the crowd for one more pose.
He finishes off with a nice muscle there.
Those deltoids, those are well defined.
And his legs are in tremendous condition as well. He's looking great.
And a nice performance for Joe Carrero. And coming up next, men's heavyweight division. First up is Chuck Reed. He's 23 years old. He's 5'9", 209 pounds.
And he's looking very impressive indeed. He's got great proportions, great symmetry, maybe just a tad more definition. Once again, he could be 3 or 4 pounds lighter. But apart from that, he's got a great physique. Very well put together indeed. He has no weak points to look at. His arms are good, back is good, his legs are good.
He's been working out, Brian, for 7 years and competing for 5. So he's relatively new, but he's really gaining experience.
Yeah, he's going to do well here today. If he can just get a little bit more cut up for his next contest, there'll be no stopping him. He's got it all there, just has to get it really sharp.
Going through his final poses here.
He's a smooth poser as well, though.
And a fine performance for Chuck Reed. Up next is Charlie Sinico. He's 25 years old. He's 5'8", 209 pounds. And he starts out a little differently.
Yeah, it's a bit of an original start there. I must say, the men in this competition have come in very good condition. Charlie's looking very good. Once again, he's big, well proportioned. He hasn't got any weak points to look at. Could be maybe 2 or 3 pounds lighter. Then he could really be in top condition. He's carrying a little bit much around the waistline there.
What you mean, Brian, is his waist a little bit too big for his body proportion?
Yes, he's a little bit thick around the waistline. He could have dyed it off 2 or 3 more inches there.
What amazes me is the dedication and the training that goes on with bodybuilding. Charlie's been at it for about 7 years, and it shows. And it must help when you have somebody else you can train with. And as Charlie said earlier, he's got a friend, Steve Reinhardt, who is in his division that he trains with. We had a chance to talk to him now.
The heavy training I did a lot of powerlifting as a teenager, which gave me a good thick base of muscle to build on. Training becomes very monotonous. You're in the gym every day doing the same thing day in, day out. I don't have the fire I had when I was a kid anymore. You know, now it's all business in the gym. You train hard, heavy, fast. You do what you have to do and get out.
I was a real swing kid. I started working out in high school. Then as the years went, I just started working out harder and harder and got more into it. That's how I started. I played football, a little football earlier, just Pop Warner. In high school, I really didn't play any sports. I think I have a good shaped body, symmetrical body, and not real blocky. My strong point, I think.
All right, and up next is Steve Reinhardt. He's 25 years old. He's tall. He's 6 feet tall, 220 pounds. Now, Brian, he's only been competing for 1 year. How is this going to affect his opening act here?
Well, it doesn't seem to have affected him at all. He looks in great condition. It's amazing. He's only been competing a year. He looks confident. He's done his homework. He's in top condition. No weaknesses to speak of on his physique. Maybe he'd do it a little bit more arm size, maybe. But his back looks great. Abdominals, great condition.
They almost look like a painting.
Yes, he's a very classical poser. He's chosen a very classical piece of music. I like the style.
I mean, their body parts almost look sculptured out there.
Yeah. Chiseled out of stone. Maybe he could do with a touch more leg development as well, to complement his upper body. But for somebody who's only been in it for a year, it's fantastic. Great abdomen.
Showing off those abdominals once again, the upper body, and really flexing and really concentrating. And a fine performance for Steve Reinhardt. Another heavyweight contender is Billy Smith, who recently moved to Los Angeles to increase his bodybuilding career. He feels Southern California is the place to be when it comes to bodybuilding.
I came to Venice mainly for Gold's Gym in Venice. I needed the access to the different pieces of equipment, the atmosphere, the weather, the types of foods that they have on the West Coast that they don't have, the seasons, the fruits and that sort of thing that go out of season in the wintertime. In 1987, I did train for the Nationals, but I decided not to go in the last week because I had came down with a stomach virus. And during the depletion phase, I had lost way too much muscle size and I couldn't get it back fast enough. I just didn't want to go in and do worse than third place like I had done in '85. I think this year, I'm much better than I was in 1985. The only thing that I'll change in my training is I will train much heavier because it seems that when I start training with lighter weights, higher reps, I lose too much of my thickness. And I think that's the only thing I'm going to change. I compete with myself. I always have. Competing against other people, it's just never really, done anything for me. I used to play team sports, and it just didn't interest me as much as competing with myself, personal goals, that sort of thing. And then I will compete as a pro.
And here he is, Billy Smith. Now, Brian, he is pretty big compared to the other bodybuilders. He's 6'3", 250 pounds.
Yes, big Billy Smith. He is a big man. I think his one thing that he should have made sure of today was to come in a little bit harder, a little bit more conditioned. He could have been 5 pounds lighter. But he's still extremely impressive. Extremely big. Throwing a hell of a lot of beef.
Do you think he should trim down a little bit?
I think he could be 5 pounds lighter. Then he would show his physique in even greater light. More definition, more detail. He's big, but he needs to polish it a little bit more.
Amazing when it comes right down to it, 5 pounds in bodybuilding. I guess that can make quite a difference.
Makes a hell of a difference. Makes a difference between first and last place. He's still very impressive.
And a great performance for Billy Smith. But coming up next in sunny Southern California is in the bantamweight class. We've got Malcolm Yancey. In the lightweight division, Ed Castagnari. In the middleweight division, Gene Theodore. In the light heavyweight division, Joe Carrero. In the heavyweight division for the men, Billy Smith. And this is what it all comes down to, the comparison of the weight classes for the pose down for the overall title.
Yes, we're going to find out who actually wins. Who is the overall champion?
And it was a long afternoon and a well job done for all these athletes. But now we're awaiting the decision from the judges for the overall title.
NPC championship winner, number 74.
And Joe Carrero has won the overall pose down title for the Tournament of Champions.
That's a very good decision. He deserved it. He had it all, that definition, size, symmetry, and proportion. A deserved winner.
Well, he's definitely got to be psyched up.
You can see the difference there. Joe Carrero is finished, proportioned, and symmetrical. Bill Smith is huge, but he hasn't got that finished look. He looks great, Joe Carrero. Billy Smith could have been 5 pounds lighter.
And a well-deserved job for Joe Carrero as he walks off stage with his trophy, and a nice trophy at that. Tamara is with Joe now.
Joe, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Taking the overall, that's not bad.
Feels fantastic. I trained very hard for it. Very hard.
So where do you go from here?
Right to the nationals, that's for sure now. 6 more weeks, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to give it my best and see what I can do in the light heavyweight class.
And you're going to need a crew to help you carry out that big trophy of yours.
I don't know about that. I can do it myself.
Good performance. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.